guys, it's Haley, and today I just wanted to take some time and talk about my list of favorite TV boyfriends. I was trying to figure out a way to characterize this list, and that's the kind of generalization I came up with. Not the best guys in TV, because that list would go on forever, because I could just go through each TV show that I watch and pick out a guy that I really enjoy watching. But this is more of a specific kind of a list where these are all some of these characters, most of them are characters that compelled me to the show, that if the character hadn't been there, then I probably wouldn't have watched the show maybe at all, or not as long as I did. So that's kind of why I put these all in a lump sum. They're the characters that I always think about as being my favorite, and they're the ones that first come to mind. So I could make a bigger in-depth list and include a lot more characters, but this is just sort of a smaller, kind of a fun list of characters, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to get into it in no particular order, because putting things in rating systems in order is really freaks me out. I don't know why, it's weird. But so this is just guys that I like in no particular order, like I said. So my first one is Jess Mariano from Gilmore Girls. He has been my favorite since middle school. He's my favorite of Rory's boyfriends. I think that, and even as I rewatch it, he's still my favorite. And when I listened to the Gilmore Guys podcast, I realized that a lot of people don't feel the same way, and they hate Jess, which I felt so sad about, because I've always really loved him and enjoyed his character, and Milo Ventimiglia is just great. And I enjoy seeing him play that character. And it's just he's a bad boy, but he's not really bad. He reads, he has the hair, he's just a really, for me, a fun character. And I felt like he always treated Rory really well, even if there were some shady things about him. But I feel like his character was needed for the show, and it made the show more interesting, definitely. And without him, it wouldn't have been the same. The next character is one of those characters that I probably wouldn't have watched the show had he not been in it, and that's Ezra Fitz from Pretty Little Liars. I love his character so much, and that was one show I was like, but I wanted to see Ezra's, I wanted to see what happened with Ezra. I was curious to see how long he would last in the show, because at first I thought maybe he would just be 1 or 2 seasons and then they would break up, because I was like, how can a teacher and a high school student romance last? And I guess in Pretty Little Liars it does. But so I wanted to see where it was gonna go and where that storyline was gonna lead, and so I just really enjoyed watching him. And he was funny, and he's cute, and he's just the kind of guy that you would want to be with, I guess, or that I just thought would be such a great person, because he's just a very sweet guy, and I just enjoyed watching him. And when there was one season where you were like, is he A? I was like, if he turns out to be A, I am not watching the show anymore, because he's the only reason I've stuck on for so long. And I mean, there's other characters that I really enjoy in Pretty Little Liars, obviously, but I wouldn't have gotten to see those had it not been for Ezra Fitz, because I would have probably just turned it off. But yeah. And another character that's like that for me is Damon Salvatore from the Vampire Diaries. Again, I was like, this is a Twilight thing, I don't know, and I never really wanted to watch the Vampire Diaries, and I remember what was the final thing, nail in the coffin, to get me to start watching it, but one day I just clicked it on Netflix, and I was like, I'm not sure about this, and then Damon Salvatore walked in the room, and I was like, excuse me, I'm gonna have to see what happens with this, because he is different and cool. He's a villain, but you feel sorry for him. And he really, truly was what kept me watching the show, even when I was, disappointed in where it led. And I haven't finished it yet, because I'm not really emotionally prepared. And I feel like it's going to crush all my hopes and dreams, because that's what the Vampire Diaries does. So in a couple of last seasons. So I've been waiting, but I need to finish it. But in the seasons that I've seen, he's been constantly my favorite character. And again, there's other characters that I've loved too as the show went on. I just probably wouldn't have gotten to love Caroline and love some of the characters that I love if it hadn't been for Damon, because I probably wouldn't have held on, like I said before. This next character that I'm going to talk about is kind of controversial, or so I found out when the movie came out, which I didn't know, because I was in my own little world with this ship and it sank. But Piz, he from Veronica Mars, I love him so much. He's steady, nice, funny guy who I felt just didn't get what he deserved at the end. And I understand that people love Logan. I loved Logan, and but I just really wanted Piz to win. I really wanted things to work out for him. And in my, like, fan fiction world, he's off with some girl who treats him really well, and he's living the life that he should live away from all the drama that Veronica brings, even though I love Veronica Mars, and I love the show, and I love her character. I just really would have liked to see them together, and I know that is very controversial, because a lot of people don't feel the same way, but he was really enjoyable to watch. And had the show gone longer, maybe they wouldn't have worked out in the long run, but in that season 3 of Veronica Mars, I really enjoyed it, and I shipped it, even though it seems like hardly anybody else did. The next character on my list is Pacey Witter, and I really don't feel like Dawsons Creek should be called Dawsons Creek. I feel like the show could go on perfectly without even Dawson, because nobody cares about Dawson. And when I say nobody, I mean me, but maybe someone out there agrees with me, because I feel like he was just this, like, whiny baby who always was trying to get his way, and he didn't treat Joey right. Anyways, I'm not going to talk a whole lot about Dawson, because that's not who's on this list. Pacey Witter is on this list because he was such a nice character. He was funny. Again, he brought the comedy to the show. And then he had the greatest character development, because you're thinking he's an underdog. His parents treat him like crap, and you're wanting to see him succeed. And so, well, I was wanting to see him succeed. So I watched the whole series basically for Pacey Witter. And then there's other characters that I love, and I ship him with Joey. And so I was always waiting to see them. Will they? Won't they? They broke up. Oh no. Are they going to get back together? And you want to see them, like, be, you know, happy together. When I say you, I say me. I mean me. But, I just really enjoyed him as a character, and plus, he's just so cute. And, I just really enjoyed his character and the development that happened with Pacey Witter. And if it would have been Pacey's Creek, all the better, because Dawson sucks. Sorry if you love him, but I do not. The next person on my list is Styles, and I don't really know his last name, from Teen Wolf. Dylan O'Brien's character. This one was for real one of those people that I held on to the show for, because I'm still kind of like, but about the show in general, but his character I just really enjoy. I feel like he does it so much justice. He's hilarious, and there was one season where he had a lot of, like, drama, and, like, he was battling a lot of things, and he did such a good job. Like, I was like, this is a role that just, like, shows his acting ability, and if he doesn't get lots of roles after the show, I don't know what's wrong with people, because he is just, like, such a good actor, and I just really enjoy his character. It's, like, the witty, again, it's, like, I feel like it's a lot like the Pacey Witter, you know, he's kind of an underdog, but you're wanting him to succeed, and he's just really funny and enjoyable to watch, so I love him. The last person on my list is Seth Cohen from The OC. He is just, again, the comedy of The OC. When The OC is so heavy in drama, it's like a very heavy soap opera for teens. Seth Cohen brings this light and funny personality. He's geeky, so you love him, and it's just, he's one of my favorite characters. He has all the lines that I'll quote most of the time from that show, because he just has a lot of, like, funny, quirky things, and I wanted to see him with Summer, and you're just waiting to see if the, like, geek will get the girl, and, I just really enjoyed watching his character, and seeing someone like that on TV who's kind of geeky but lovable at the same time was just a really fun thing. So he made my list because, for obvious reasons. If you have people that you would like to add to this made-up list of mine, I would love to hear it in the comments below. These are just kind of the favorites that I have on the top of my head. But I would like to, like, include, like, other characters in different lists. Like, when I was thinking of this list, Kirk from Gilmore Girls came to mind, but didn't really fit with the rest of the list, and Mouth from One Tree Hill came to mind, and those are just kind of like my honorable mentions. But I feel like if I did another list at a different time with different, like, side characters, they would be on it. So yeah, if you have any, like, disagreements, like, if you really love Dawson, I'd love to hear below, because, I don't know. And if you love Piz with me, let me know, because I feel kind of alone in that endeavor. But yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I'm hoping to bring a new video soon, and if you like to see more of my videos, then hit subscribe. Thanks, guys. See you soon.